Hi Kinnari, a very good afternoon to you.
Hello Amritesh, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for joining us for the interview of HTBD, How to Do Business in Dubai. We are very grateful to have you here. So tell us something about yourself.
Okay, so I was an educator by birth, I would say. I
Okay.
claim that way, but I came to Dubai 9 years back. My
Okay.
journey started 9 years
Wow.
back. I came here and I was hired with one of the good institutes, private institutes, and that's how my journey started. One thing I was always determined of that I want to grow, and there is, when it comes to Dubai, sky is the limit. If you have something in you, sky is really the limit. So you will get opportunities, you will grow, and that's what happened with me. So yeah, that's about me.
So how it started? How your journey started? Like you started working with a school, or what is an education institute? Like how it has progressed and what currently you are doing? If you can reflect something on that.
Okay, so I was hired by one of the GEMS education schools.
Oh, GEMS
And
group. Like
GEMS
it's
group.
a pretty big group. You know,
Yeah,
GEMS.
yeah. And let me tell you, GEMS really takes good care of you. You know, once they hire you, they do every single thing for you. You don't have to literally panic while you're coming to this country. That where would I stay? How would things would be? GEMS would take care of every single aspect. Okay, so I was very comfortable when I started with GEMS, and that's how my journey started. It was very good. I learned a lot. Though I came from a very curriculum and a training background, but I was hired as a business teacher over here, looking at my qualifications,
Right.
and that's how the journey started.
Okay, so the other thing, as you just mentioned about that you started as a teacher, there is something which is very interesting, and because we are covering how to do business in Dubai, imagine if someone wants to come and invest in Dubai in an education sector, then what are the opportunities for private schools or education programs? What in your opinion, what kind of opportunities are there for starting a school in Dubai?
Well, I would say let's be very realistic. Okay, we see that Dubai has shown a very smooth progress, and it's smoothly growing and progressing. The GDP is going smooth. Everything is good. So we're growing. We're surely growing. And in this scenario, we have a lot of expats coming to Dubai and settling from everywhere around the world. On the contrary, this gives rise to more schooling. Okay, so there are more and more students. If you just see the new areas come up, and then the new schools come up, and the admissions are going full. Everything is, working out well.
In fact, to add to your point, I see a lot of American curriculum and British curriculum schools now expanding in
Correct.
Sharjah and Ajman, which was
Perfect,
which
yes.
was in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I see a lot of these brands going into other Emirates also and expanding.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, keeping that in mind, private schooling is a very, very bright and good business. Also, keeping in mind that 90% of schooling is private schooling over here. It's
yeah.
owned by private owners.
It is by private owners.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so it's like that one has to go to Ministry of Education to get the approval for or starting a school. Is it like that?
Yeah, in a way, it's a very, very set, clear procedure. So once you have idea about maybe the school, you have a school brand back home. Okay, it's already existing school in some other country, or maybe it's a completely new startup. So you come up and you go to KHDA. And KHDA gives you, as far as Dubai is concerned, so you go to KHDA, and KHDA will give you a clear picture of how to proceed with the things.
KHD and Knowledge Human Resource
Yes.
Development Authority, which is Ministry of Education, Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is they give you a very, very clear idea how to proceed with things, and it's step by step.
Very nice.
Okay. And once you fill their form, you go ahead giving them the details. You show them where you're buying a land or things like that. And then they ask you for an academic plan. Every step they handhold you. Okay, it's not like something is vague. They literally handhold you. They take you step by step to get things done.
Very nice.
And it's a very clear-cut procedure.
Okay, if you can also add a point that if there is a foreigner who wants to own education business in Dubai, are there any specific restrictions or regulations on that?
Okay, now every Emirates has its own way of doing. So I will specifically, if you ask me about Dubai, no, there are no restrictions as such. You can have 100% commercial license of your own venture, educational venture, and you can go ahead. That's not a problem at all.
That's right.
But saying that, as I said you, that everything comes from a Ministry of Education and KHDA. So they have laid down a very, very clear idea about what they expect out of the institutes, and these rules and regulation needs to be followed without any doubt.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The other aspect probably a foreigner would want to know, and in your opinion, when it comes to the education market being competitive and different segments, when I say different segments, I would principally say three segments. One is schooling, one is education institutes, and another is higher education, which is your degree programs, universities and colleges. What kind of saturation you see in your opinion? Like, would you see schooling market being more saturated, or education institutions market being more saturated, or universities, colleges market being more saturated in Dubai?
Okay, so let me first give you a little bit outlook about how I look at this whole thing.
Very nice.
The thing is that when you look at the picture of schooling also, most of the schools right now are IB schools or UK curriculum based schools, and American schools add up after that. So if you rank how many schools are there in UK curriculum or IB curriculum, they are the highest. And then comes an American curriculum, follows by another 16 curriculums which are existing in Dubai right now. When you say competition, even in schooling sector, the competition is majorly in the elite prestigious schools. The schools which are charging higher because the rate of return is higher. Okay, but when you come to moderate and low sector, there is no competition. Believe me, there is no competition. A lot of scope there. Now coming to the another part of.
So by this, I could say that CBSE, like Central Board of Secondary Education Schools, or ICSE schools, do they still have scope in this market? Like if someone wants to come and expand their businesses in this part of the world, coming from the subcontinent, do they still have scope in Dubai?
Indian curriculum schools do have a scope because of the fact that most of the Indian expats work here, and they like curriculum which caters to the Indian standards as well. So there is an easy mobility of things. But what I also feel personally is that most of the people now prefer UK curriculum as compared to the other curriculums.
Did you hear about School of Humanity? It's a School of Humanity, which is an completely online school approved by the UAE government. Like I think by KHTA, and they are delivering kind of homeschooling, something like that. There's a concept. That's a very unique concept. What's your opinion on homeschooling? Do you think it is something which could be the realistic thing going in the future, and how Dubai could also support that kind of concept or that kind of thing? What do you feel?
So I would say Dubai has been very, very, very flexible and innovative in its way of accepting the new things that happen around the world. Okay, so they would accept the new curriculum, they would accept the new systems. They are trying to be walking with the world right now completely. That's happening. And when it comes to this, I think homeschooling is also a good option which is happening around the world. So there are a category or a niche market for that as well. So yes, of course, I mean, if you say will that work after COVID, I think the scenario of looking at this has completely changed.
I think after COVID, the education sector has drastically changed.
Yes.
I mean, why I brought this point of the School of Humanity and the homeschooling, because as you mentioned that schools are something which are very popular. I mean the different curriculums are there, and there's a lot of competition when it comes to the elite schools, and there is still a category, a target market which is left, wherein if you want to come up and you want to offer something which is unique,
correct,
a creative solution for the industry, then you think, in your opinion, this could work out.
Yes.
That's really nice. Other important thing which probably anyone would want to know when you are discussing about doing business in Dubai, from the education business point of view, what are the cultural and demographic factors that can impact the success of a education business? Cultural and demographic factors.
Okay, so let me target one at a time.
Yeah.
So demographic factors, I would say that is somebody who wants to come to Dubai. Okay, we have witnessed in last 1 decade as well. We all have witnessed that there are upcoming areas, there are new areas, there are new things, and you know, once that area is flourished, it's very fast, and you see the new universities and the schools coming up in that area. Now, let me also highlight this, that not only the expat students are joining private schools, even the local Emirati students are joining private schools, the American
nice.
schools and all. Most of them they prefer going for foreign education. Even the local Emiratis prefer going for foreign education as far as the universities are concerned.
Very nice.
Okay, again, both male and female, and most of them take up vocational courses.
Oh wow, okay, vocational courses, they're
Most of
popular.
them, they're more popular with vocational courses rather than traditional courses.
Very nice.
So on one hand, you see that expats are preferring more of traditional courses that we see, you know, and then we see the locals preferring the vocational courses.
Very nice.
So I don't want to stereotype that, but I'm just trying to give you an
yeah,
idea.
you're giving you. It's again an opinion, and I think it's a very, very well said, observed opinion of yours, that there are expats who are interested in vocational education, something which gives them more of hands-on. Okay. So culturally, what do you feel? How this market is different? Do you see because there is a mixed culture? There's a huge mix of culture.
Yes.
So how do you see, as an education sector, this cultural diversity, it helps this entire ecosystem of education? Can you sort of reflect something on that?
You know, it's phenomenal to look at this, because we have 200 nationalities living here in peace, in harmony, respecting each other's culture, and that is what Dubai stands for exactly. Because we are very tolerant. This country teaches us to respect and love each other, and that is what you see inside the classroom as well. So once you enter a classroom, whether it's a university, whether it's a school or a secondary school, you will see all the nationalities celebrating the differences together, exchange of knowledge and exchange of culture happening right over there.
So I think it's a beautiful idea for any international education brand to come and open a center or a branch here to bring their kids in and give them to this diversity of culture and demographics and let them experience. Because if a student is coming from Europe, or if a student is coming from subcontinent or Southeast of Asia, they can come and explore this diversity of different kids and different people, who are coming in one classroom and experiencing. I think being isolated, being in your own country, you would not get that kind of opportunity.
No, because every nationality or every person that you talk to brings in fresh ideas, fresh knowledge, fresh know-how that they come from, their background, everything. So when you're sitting in that kind of a group, for example, you're doing a project and you people coming from different national, different backgrounds, the kind of thinking that goes into this will be very different.
I think it is so beautiful and entrepreneurial for kids to be in this kind of a diversity. Because then you come up with so many different ideas. You think of a business probably which may be very unique to South Americans, and then you want to bring that kind of a concept to this world, or you want to take it to subcontinent, or you want to take it to Europe. I think it adds to the whole culture, and demographics add to the diversity. One more point in demographics. What do you see when it comes to the business, the education business? Which demographic out of income, or age, or gender, which demographic you feel is the most important one to contribute towards taking a decision of opening a school or education business in this part of the world?
I would say that because every nation is run by the upcoming minds, the young minds, and we are definitely targeting the young minds. There is a shift. The global shift right now is that people are going more local than international, is also a shift. So if I am an expat staying in Dubai, wanting my kids thinking to go to Canada or any other country, now that there is a shift, there is a shift in that mindset.
Very valid point.
Yeah. So if I think that my student or my child can get the best of the education in locally, get best of the infrastructure, best of the growth, okay, and know-how over here, and of course, followed by a good employment opportunities.
Right.
Which is a labor market information. If you consider the labor market information, I think this is the best market right now.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, the gender and the income are two important factors out of the demographics, which are very aggressively growing in this market, and they contribute towards any business for that matter, considering education business as well.
Absolutely.
Perfect. The other very important point is what kind of government support is available for education businesses, or how research and development sector is developing in the education sector in Dubai, if you can reflect something on that.
Okay, so basically, if you look at this, that most of the education is private education. Okay, we have universities, we have schools and so on, and 90% of which is private. That means the government is really very supportive in welcoming them on this land, and followed by an excellent infrastructure, giving a free zone for educational institutes to run at a little subsidiary rates. Okay, there are some grants which are available only for students who are excellent to come and get into these universities.
Sorry to just got excited. Yeah. There was one information which came out last year that students who are scoring above 98% or 95%,
absolutely,
they get a golden visa.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So recently in my circle itself, I got some students enrolled into the university and at a full scholarship because they had that kind of a score, 97%, 98% scores. So again, it trying to retain the talent in the country. It's actually trying to retain the talent.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And on the other hand, I would say, coming back to the point, the support. How the country deals during the crisis is the test of what it is.
Yeah.
And I would say it is excellent if you see how this country came up with support plan for its businesses,
right,
especially the educational business. We hit COVID and the government takes up a call of telling the telecommunication services that you have to be at forefront providing free internet services wherever required, installing more high frequency internet through the help of satellite wherever required, and they made sure that remote learning runs
smoothly. Yeah.
And we were on track within next 15 days or maximum month. It was on track. It ran flawlessly. This is how the country dealt with the crisis at that time.
No, I probably have interviewed so many people and everyone just applauds the response after post-COVID, during COVID, be it any sector for that matter. I think on these, we have done interviews with everyone. You're the first one coming from the education sector, and you are applauding the same thing. It's such a beautiful thing to reflect on, that how this country responded and held hands of every individual and across all industries to give them the right support to sprung back into action and do everything possible. That's really nice. Okay, the other important part is, we have been talking about business and education, investment in the education sector. Something about teachers. So imagine if there are educators and staff who are at work in Dubai, and if you can reflect on what are these specific requirements if someone wants to come and become a teacher in Dubai to teach in the education sector.
Okay, so it starts with being qualified first of all. So if you have your graduation and post-graduation as per the requirement of where you want to get employed in place, then very, very clearly you have to have your teaching qualifications in place, whether it is B.Ed, whether it is IPGC, whatever it is, but you have to have your teaching qualifications in place, which is a full-time qualification. Dubai does not approve part-time qualifications.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Once that is done and you crack an interview, you go for an interview, make a profile, and you're interviewed. Most of the other things, for example, the institute will inform you about the IELTS score that they need for your subject. If you are English language teacher, you may need an additional qualification for teaching English, like CELTA. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you are going to teach a foreign subject, for example, the subject that needs to be taught in proper English and no other medium. Then there is also a IELTS. Okay, so you have to meet a criteria of 7.5 IELTS, 8 IELTS according to the subject.
Okay.
So once that is in place, you apply, you are all set. And the rest of the formalities of taking approvals, taking equivalency, MUFA certification will be done by the institute for you. So you are really at rest because they will give you all the guidance. They will do a lot of things for you. Okay. And the last procedure would be getting your clearance of not having criminal records.
Okay.
That's it, because you are an educator. You cannot be coming from somewhere where something has gone wrong. You have to have a clear check. Yeah.
That's right. But can you also give a bit of idea which are those places, those websites, or how one would search for a job? If that kind of information you can share.
Okay. This is a very, very good question.
Okay.
Okay. Why? Because most of the people apply online and they say, I didn't get a response. Common answer, right? But actually, this is a very high-tech and a traditional market. I'll tell you how. So, on an average, the number of applicants applying for a good job are too high.
Yeah, probably hundreds and thousands of people.
Yeah.
Yes.
So apart from going on a traditional website like Naukri Gulf and Indeed and LinkedIn and so on, okay, you have some other website like TESS. You have good premium jobs listed there for teachers. Okay, I would come up with something new. I will say join a Facebook community of teachers, which is authentic. Okay, which says jobs in UAE for teachers, and you will see lot of upcoming urgent vacancies on a daily basis.
That's right.
Other thing, once you come to know there is a vacancy, once you know that I qualify, this is what I want and this is where I fit in, and just good to go, try to add the leaders of the school or the organization and the HR of the organization on LinkedIn. Send them a private message.
Right.
With the due respect, explaining them the whole thing, that why are you applying for which
like
position.
You need to be, have that hustle of making that
because
outreach.
You don't know when you apply, are you reaching the right person? So this is a way you should be doing it. The last thing you should be doing is, if you are in this country, if you are currently in this country, go traditionally to meet them.
That's right.
That is the best thing you can get it done. And with all due respect, they will entertain you. It's not that they will not let you enter or something like that. So take those pains of going personally.
That's
if you
right.
feel that you just fit in.
How about, just trying to be innovative here, you search for, because KHT rates schools, they give good rating, and you pick some of those schools which are good schools, and you search on their website. Sometimes they link vacancies on their websites. I think GEMS has a separate portal. GEMS Group, where you can go and look for Pace Group and Talim Group and Aldar Group. I think these are some big names. You can always go search on the Google which are the good schools and search
go to their
names.
websites. Yes.
Look at their web, because you'll have to hustle a bit to find that relevant job. And I think you mentioned it very correctly. Once you know who is who on the LinkedIn platform of a particular group where jobs are available, connect them on LinkedIn and then reach them out. That outreach is needed if you want a job in Dubai. That's beautifully put across. Thank you. The other important part is coming to the business side of education sector. Now, the cost structure. What do you think if you consider the pricing strategies? If someone wants to start an education institute or school, I would say, and they want to run IB curriculum, or they want to run the British curriculum or American curriculum, or a CBSE school or an ICSE school. If you can give a range, just a range, like what kind of fee we are looking at when it comes to these kind of curriculums being provided by schools in Dubai.
Okay, so coming back to where I started, that there's a lot of competition in the premium range of schools. So if you tell me that the fee structure you start with the fee structure of 9,000 to up to the fee structure of 97,000.
97,000 dirhams per year.
Per year.
Okay.
Okay, that is a huge gap. Okay, So now if you see, you cannot go, there's a huge competition at 97, 80 plus over there. And there is a very less competition here, but you as a businessman would look at profit making as well. So considering this, I think in the range of 40 to 50 is your market where you feel that, okay, this is the kind of moderation target audience I can go with, having an international school in mind.
Someone who is providing IB, British curriculum or American curriculum for that matter. What is the range for a CBSE and ICSE school? What kind of fee they charge?
So the fee structure, if you look at the CBSE and ICSE school, most of them, I would say, even on a higher side if you go, I think it will be 25 to 35. That can have a good scope, fast admissions. Okay, I would like to highlight something over here. Now is a time when one should not focus at the charging of fees, rather than look at making profit through numbers.
Volume.
Yeah, because volume, exactly, because you have a huge infrastructure. The schools here are really, really huge. The capacity of schools are huge over here. So when you talk about one good school, you're talking about 2,000, 3,000 students on one campus. So when you are on a number game, what happens is whatever revenue you have kept in mind can be achieved. Okay,
that's right.
But get into the market which does not have too much of competition.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I think you have rightly mentioned those. I think these price points would give enough idea to someone who's already running a school to see probably how to expand in the UAE.
Yeah, and if you're very confident, if you're going to do well and you're going to flawlessly clear KHDA inspections, you can increase the fees, right?
Yeah,
later.
Obviously. Yeah,
yeah,
once
because
you
now
have a
you're
good
famous.
rating,
Now you become a brand, you're famous, people want admission, and the KHDA ratings are good. You can increase the fees later as well.
And I think we should be proud of our community as well. The kind of expats and the locals, the people who are living in Dubai, they are not anyone. They are very informed parent.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They are very much informed. So if you are good rating in KHDA and if you are really giving quality education, I think parents would be happy to be on a higher side, or if you're giving that value proposition in your entire business to the parents, I think they would
absolutely. In fact, this is a market gap. So there is an audience which is ready for you, okay, who is looking after. See, there are schools with the lower fees as well, but when we talk about quality education, we are talking about at least a good to very good school and outstanding school in that range. You don't find them so easily. And right. I see lots of parents, they say, I didn't get the admission, do you have some influence, That is the kind of a scene here. So there is a market gap. And if you can fill a market gap, I'm sure you're supposed to make a profit. That's a business law.
That's right. That's great. One last question.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. Okay, and one final advice for everyone out there who wants to come and do business in Dubai, who wants to come and work in Dubai, or who wants to come and live in Dubai. One final advice.
One final advice: come mentally prepared, at least, to accept the new culture, accept the new lookout, okay, and stay there consistently, and you will see the magic happening for you.
Have fun.
You will see whatever you thought is coming true very soon, but be persistent, be positive, and just accept what's coming in. Majority of people don't do that.
That's superb. That's great. Thank you so much, Kinnari, for joining us. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.